Sakila, STP, Stove, Gabatube. I'm bearing guests, my boxer gal protect. Oh God, tag that. Sabalega sube. Tabens on my loot. Flow a jaloka to get. Caressa di my cake, make a wish. Butwe, di my slogi di gab. Hakata garule. Mountain, the swanyolo sit. Bafufulelo, Tonaka Sanad. Habanaban kutre. Waves on a stone throw. Fibonacci numbers, tots on my net. COVID numbers are just a thumbs up. Social distancing, the Bruce Lee got in and chuck. But Terry di Keres, the Hansa Gamatakas. Kaiser down lockdown, sci-fi Makasa. Crossover, Terry di Pekerelas Fapa. Bad luck, Opanalena Usuka Kotopot. Cover Alessa Pogotron, Capico Koto. I shut it down, guillotine, Moshoho, I'm in the trenches. Replace dirt with dirt, Gaforo. They bow down on my breath. Pilar like a color, I'm even better on track. Terenes a boro, lockdown level 3. Kishimi's a corona, me inch. Banababa Hutela Sekolo, no translation. So toss it all over, pay back. They can't fail like a go-goat. I'm throwing look, we're boom back, up at 808. No remorse, helicopter ride from Pinochet. Banali GPS, man, Habana data. No compass, Habata Bobalama. Wash up at 2 feet. Habana balance, Tabadima, Kabahazet, Babata. Set piece, ya became freaky, hash, lock down your safe. STP, what? Hey, gone.
XYZ Ghost.
Y'all seen the Loaded Lux Calico battle?
Loaded Lux, Calico.
I've seen Loaded Lux's battles.
Yeah.
I can't say I remember that one in particular.
You must watch the Loaded Lux.
Yeah, because Loaded Lux is a showman, bro.
Yeah, you must watch the Loaded Lux.
With Calico.
Loaded Lux Calico. He came onto the stage with a casket.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was the battle all for his verse.
Be like, I think Bob Basta and them were in the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I saw that.
I'll smack. You ready? You ready, nigga? Oh. And then he turns to Calico. He's like, Calico, you ready, nigga?
Yeah, let's
Tore him a whole new ass.
he was waiting for that. Oh, better happen because I'm blind.
Your daddy wasn't no gangster. He was just another lost nigga. Because he likes to brag about how his dad is in jail.
Sure. Oh my God.
I can know what's it.
But not my favorite thing, Yanto. Yeah, better rap is the gun bars, bro. Them niggas.
I don't like that.
I love the gun bars.
That's why I like Loaded Lux, because he tries to shy away.
He shies away. I'm gonna get that's why kind of my Bote Rock.
Yeah.
King of gun bars. Yeah,
right?
You know what I'm saying. Those are my niggas, bro.
Yeah. Alright, man.
Yeah, alright, man.
Alright, we back. The Dojo podcast with the Sensei and the Archbishop with the Wild Take Him Damn Self Tabang. Season 8, episode 6. I almost said 5.
Yeah.
6. Yeah, niggas.
Yeah, man.
We're back at it. Today it's gonna be a short one.
Yeah.
We're expecting load shedding.
Load shedding
From where we are.
Yeah.
So if it cuts midway, just know that you were listening to the Dojo podcast with the Sensei and the Archbishop with the Wild Take Him Damn Self Tabang. Thank you very much for listening.
Sure.
And we out.
Alright, man. Let's get it. Let's not waste no time. Let's really just get into it.
And what we need to do, cut 5 to 12. What let me know we always say
Yeah.
Oh shit.
so that if you can snap,
we saved and we got the and we got
so
the
okay. You'll
Yeah.
stop and then start.
Okay.
Then the balance could be audio the camera.
Yeah, actually, he needs to do it like 10
Yeah.
to 15 minutes
Yeah,
before.
that's why I control.
Yeah, because
I'm hoping they will suspend it though, because the weather is opening up.
and it can level 2.
Fuck,
You know what
this
I'm
load
saying?
shedding, man.
Well, it's back. But I guess load shedding means that the country is back running up. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm assuming industry is open. Keep on the largest
It's heavy
contributors.
on the grid, no?
It's heavy on the grid, so industries are back open. So it might be a good sign for it. We are back being load shedded, or people are back. Industry is open.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
it's just that.
worth looking at it.
Yeah. But Eskom needs to fix their shit, B. Eskom never looks at what's about. But otherwise, we're fair to, top of the week. You know, I was so bad. I was
And I got a top of the week.
I was so salty that we missed it because it happened the day after we recorded
What?
the whole Rakadi thing. Because that shit happened Sunday.
Yeah, it trended.
And it trended, and obviously, Kikaring, when people saw that clip,
Yeah.
and obviously, a lot of the narratives that we saw on social media, people took that clip and the narratives that they were painting around it, you know, were really personal to their own experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just want us to speak on that, man. Just to give people context, there was a clip, Hunale Diamond Wadi Tombstone.
Yeah,
Lebo.
May his soul rest in peace.
Sure. He passed away. And then during his I think it was memorial, his sister came on stage to untshara hore mosadi ya ona sa tlisa banna ka tlung. You know, then the daughter came to rush, you know, her aunt umtlosa off the mic, and that caused the uproar, you know what I'm saying, about those family dynamics,
Those in-law dynamics.
Let's speak on it, especially when I'm Mutanyezi.
Yeah, I've got one sister. Fusia Mafata. She follows my twins. But we touched on it. But it was remotely related.
Yeah, remotely, because I think we were just talking how
Also how my friend ex
remotely related.
I don't know. Actually, let's talk about what do you guys think she was justified?
I'm in two minds about it because Okatolore, you know, if what she's saying, if what she's saying is true, or Vele, you know, her brother died, and now, you know, the widow is bringing strange men to the house. I understand why she would be salty about that shit. Mara, is that the right platform to do it? Is that the right platform? I don't agree with the platform.
I don't think it's the right platform to be doing that.
That's not the platform to do it. Because to do it there is just embarrassing.
And like the funny thing, the company that I'm King Memory, Legacy.
Legacy something.
Something Legacy. The name of Bataung Legacy.
Oh, Bataung Legacy.
Or now the founder. When you read anything about now his death going forward,
it's gonna be about this day. Wait, what?
Hey.
I just
She brought a man in the house.
She brought a man.
Then as if for those at the back, are a fucking man.
Hey, but it's tough, bro. Yeah, and Jolly Obana, like a lot of people were just I get it, they were personalizing that narrative. Okay, it's part of the cause for men who have sisters and who are, let's say, the providers. You know what I'm saying? Maybe for their families back home. Once they get married, then the men's family, the dad side, then they feel like they're in competition with this now.
Sure.
Wife.
And the thing about it is that it's so nuanced, because as a man, you look at it from perspective you have sisters that could treat your wife
better.
Some way.
Decent. Yeah.
Decent. Some way, right? And then you have sisters that could go marry a man that has sisters who could get treated some way. Then your wife that's being treated some way by your sisters could have brothers that are married to women that they treat some way.
Yeah.
And the way but on the timeline, it was almost as if all men come from one family and all women come from one family.
Yeah.
Forgetting that, you know, most households it's a mix. It's brothers and sisters.
Yes.
You know, so whatever it is that your mother might have experienced, you might find that there's someone in your family that might have treated
That
When about to
yes,
hump because there was a
That
brother
when
that
I
married.
complain lang hona
Yeah,
tje.
when I'm complaining lang, you might find that you even yourself
Yeah.
could have come across
Mm.
like that. I mean, personally for me, if I look at like my experience, my father's sisters didn't treat my mom in the best
Some
of
way.
ways.
Mm.
Or in the
In the best of ways.
Nile boragane.
Yeah, yeah. And it's something that I know exists.
Time allow nile firstborn.
Yeah, my father was the
Okay.
firstborn.
Mm.
Yeah.
My father was the firstborn.
Which goes back to what you were saying, More. I wonder what the dynamics are where the father is the last born or the firstborn or the breadwinner. Because sometimes by being a breadwinner, or by the has a firstborn.
Mm.
Because you are a provider.
Yeah.
So there's those dynamics that ha a breadwinner it's a week hela bophelo. But to benefiting directly from the breadwinner, any other thing that comes into the breadwinner's life divides the pie chart.
Yeah.
And I happen, even if that guy wasn't necessarily a breadwinner, but Kimoto Eloring has a sizable estate.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't someone that wasn't necessarily supporting anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as Afrokahal, then the leeches come out.
Yes, because there's something to gain on the table.
What? You know,
That's true.
even when my past passed away, and he had someone in his life. She wasn't treated very well.
Oh wow.
You know, she wasn't treated very well. But and I'm not gonna go and say that, you know, my mother and her sisters might not have acted in an
Unsavory
manner to some of her brothers' wives.
Mm.
You know, it's like
It's a back and forth.
It's not clear cut.
Yeah.
It's not clear cut, and you know, it goes back to the discussion that you guys were having with Claudia about women's relations with
Each other.
each other. Yeah,
Mm.
and she tried to make it look like it was something that was widespread. You know,
Mm.
right? It's not.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not. Why is it always there?
Mm.
Yeah, because we never what we even men do it.
Yeah, why am I not beefing with my brother's wife?
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, there are cases where it happens, but
Mm.
why is it more prevalent?
Yes.
Yeah, abasad.
There the trend is very clear.
There's a trend there.
Yeah.
There's a trend there.
Yeah, and
Okay, that
it,
you
it,
can't
it can't be ignored.
Yeah.
It
It can't be ignored. It definitely can't be ignored.
Honale,
But happy,
usnaksinyana la.
it also connects with what we were talking about, Nakule Luaka, you know, up death.
Hey.
Introduce and whatnot.
Mm.
Get that thing, you see, a funeral, the funeral as a platform is also the last chance.
Yeah.
Because have you seen how much I wanted to apologize to Maurice. I wanted to apologize. And
So-
I never did.
Yeah, so how to like opportunity.
So, how can I beef him Salua how? How can I beef him Salua how? And now, and I'm like, I should have pulled this bitch. Like, while this guy was still alive. But I didn't. So now the funeral it has a sense of finality. So, I should actually have confronted my dad as Anzana Pela or Antlais.
But then, yeah, okay, yeah,
You know,
from that perspective,
Yeah, so now this platform, even though it's not a right platform from a savory, from
It
an
seems like the
ethical
final platform.
but bohloko be kutlwa e be kutlwa nna e ba that thing ya hore like look at this bitch being a chief mourner. If only people knew.
But at the same time, you could not have brought it up while I was alive, because that's my wife. That's my wife.
Would have been hella offensive.
Yeah, that's my wife. You need to watch
Check
my-
yourself.
And I would have protected my wife.
Check yourself.
So what I'm saying is that I do understand why those occasions will arise, where more to anchor platform to say something, because I can get one into a list. Really, there are people who wish they would have reported a rapist, but they never did. So when the list comes out,
Now is my
I
chance.
have a platform. Yes, I can't prove it. Yes, you know what I mean. But I'm just gonna blurt it out.
Now is my
Whether
chance.
it creates issues for you, I don't care. So I suppose that's the thing. Can took a funeral because the more bona motona afuang support, even though programming and now in my head I'm thinking, this bitch been bringing a man in this house.
Now how you enter the food? You just way. Because a funeral is a family affair. You see, what does that make y'all look like?
Yeah.
So that's why it's not only the widow's name that you're dragging through the mud. It makes you and the entire family look some way.
Yes.
Because now you're airing dirty laundry to Lila Paschavi. It's embarrassing.
Yes.
And how about his kids, bro?
It's embarrassing.
Because Rakadi got chased down by the daughter.
The daughter.
That's your brother's kid. That's your brother's kid.
That you should be looking at.
Yeah. Are you thinking about them before Onana got mabon? You know, because his kids connect you.
They clearly never featured in the decision making.
Right one. And sometimes when family treats, let's say, the mother wrong, and forgetting
and you should be loving and caring for
one. Yeah, which gets me thinking, did you really care about your brother if you're gonna do this about embarrass offspring high so?
It's a tough one, man.
Yeah.
It's a tough one, but yeah, like I said, does Linda even, you know, when Hansi get like your whole, I didn't have a close relationship with time, but I had a close relationship with some of his siblings, and only because they made an effort, or he made an effort, a particular person, my uncle, to be close.
Yeah.
The woman never bothered.
Which woman?
The woman.
Yeah.
The sisters.
The woman never bothered.
sisters.
The woman never
But
bothered.
his brothers came through.
Yeah.
The woman never bothered. You know, the brothers were always like happy, you know, hey,
Sure. The uncles.
hey,
Manabu. Yeah.
What? The women were always like on some, you know, you see them, you don't.
Because ibekare basadi haba ne ba sa khone aba khone bona bana and separate them from the wife. Because I get
the extension of the wife.
The extension of the wife. I think up to our extension am sadi. Because I get bana are usually closer to their mom.
But I mean, let me not paint them in a bad light. For the most part, it was cordial, but I felt
could have been better.
It could have been.
I felt the love from the men. You know,
Mm.
these are people that didn't even see me grow up.
And happy, we might call it love when it's actually la retore. But babundate, we will always bring boys closer because of that patriarchy. So I don't want to paint it as love per se. It's just that so we feel like being closer to you, they had a vested interest.
Patriarchal
Themselves,
wise.
not your well-being. You know, it's like if somebody finds out when a love child, you will see the energy changes whether it's a boy or girl.
Yeah, but in my case, it was different in the sense that guy would always go out of his own pocket.
Okay, to make sure you're good. Okay,
you know, I remember going to varsity, you know, and already at the time still had a sedan, you know, and I had beds and microwaves and printers, you know, and that nigga had another bed, you know, and he offered to take me to Joburg, you know, get me settled, you know, broke me off. Couple of grand.
Let you hold something.
You know, let me hold something, and like without expecting anything in return.
That means something. That means something.
And I've seen that, like especially that dynamic, the males, for the males, even if let's say the time around the trunk or whatever, uncle whatever, they always look out for the male child. They find a way But it's just
It's just that for now, I never got to experience what that would have looked like for
a girl.
A girl.
a girl because I come from an all boys
Family.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think there's something to be said about the point that you're trying to make. Or maybe the energy would have been different.
The energy would have been different.
If you're.
And I think another thing, like you were saying, kids are an extension of their mother, maybe to other people. More so the daughter.
More so the daughter.
More so if you are the girl.
Yeah.
So my dad's brothers are not going out of their way to be closer to a girl. But also because the converse, the inverse is also true because my father's brothers see me as an extension of him.
So how much blame, for lack of a better description, would you put, or who would you put it on in terms of making sure that the family remains close and there's good relationships between everyone? Because I think for the most part, in a lot of families, it's always left to the individuals, you know. And then in other families, you find that there's that one person. You find that there's that one person that really makes a concerted effort to make sure there's, you know,
unity
in the family. And most times,
the matriarch, then everything falls apart.
Yeah, if there wasn't a matriarch with the same qualities that she handed the baton to, then the whole family dissolves.
Yeah, it does.
You know, and hangada, it's not men. Men don't play that role.
They don't.
We passive in family relations.
Yeah.
You know,
it's the matriarch.
The matriarch is the one that takes.
That's the clue.
Yeah. That takes lead of the role that grandma played.
Yeah.
You know, also the patriarch only, if he's even there, only rocks up when it's time for rituals. Batala, the head of the family. Then he comes out with but this entire time when there was squabble in the families, he was doing nothing to facilitate.
Yeah, but who's solving that?
Yeah,
who's solving that? It's usually the matriarch.
It's usually the matriarch.
Yeah, I've seen that in my family as well. Yeah. I've seen that in my family.
The men stay out of it.
Yeah, they stay out of it. Beef nyana. Something for some of my father's brothers who had passed away. And but by contribute because I agree in a decision a decide when family, you know, we need marriage for Batuana. And then when you start seeing other family members slack, you know, with contributions or who is obviously, you know, emotions rise. Or when how about I facilitate the relationship, you know, who fix in a long hole.
The matriarch.
In a long hole, and fix the it's new to
and they take the time.
And what's a man house to house. I know it's coming so it's like why I him what's that
you see my mother does that. My mother will even call a family meeting. And that's what my mom is now because my grandma passed away. And because she's the oldest to everyone except us. You know, that's how she that's who she's referred to.
That's her role,
Everybody calls her and it's a weird thing for me to come to terms with because I'm
that's your mom.
But she's the one that
holding it down.
That has to make sure that everybody is cool and everybody's getting along. If there's beef, she nips that shit in the bud.
Quick. And beef pops up.
See what's scary now for you now, looking at that and you're like, what does the succession plan look like?
It can't be me, it won't be me.
Household shape. Go now. Franklin and Chap already have Amona. That's it.
And now you gotta look at your older brothers.
The cracks in this family are gonna show.
Yeah, and they will.
But there's a matriarch in the works. She's young. She's my age though.
Okay.
So she's quite close with my mom.
Okay.
And I see certain qualities in her that my mom,
that's why they put up
that
question.
my mother has, but I wouldn't be able to do it.
Because I'm finding like beef. Yeah, so very quick, Joe. Very quick, and when I check up, like when you see the relations between the siblings of let's say my father's siblings, and then the other people that come through by extension of those siblings, the wives, and how they relate within everything. Where I want like emanedika koma nedika jumpa ka thunyana tse seleng.
And emergency.
I want to again. I want to again. I want to again. Whoa. Because sometimes because sometimes a lady wants to vent about my dad's sister. What? I'll see how. And the kick hard one, time half an hour platform. So when I get home, then I gotta hear this shit about my aunt, bro. And I love that woman because she raised me. But now I gotta hear, okay, hi it's so. Yo, did you try to talk to dad? Or at least I lolika. Whatever. Now, but I can clearly see, okay, there's beef between Olady, Le Rahad. Hey, there's beef. But somebody needs to nip the shit in the butt.
And you're catching strays as a child.
I'm catching strays. Because now usually I feel like because I gotta go to a house. Now I can't go to the house.
That's where the facilitator is. And the matriarch can't get into any beefs. Because there'll be nobody to fix that for her.
Yes.
There'll be nobody to fix that. So even if she's offended, because like, bro, my mother, right? But she'll extend the olive branch just so her
tension.
You'll do her dirty.
Yeah.
But she'll be like, yo,
I refuse him.
Yeah.
And then finance.
That would make
an
average person,
Wow.
That you would never forgive.
Wow.
But he be like, nah, bro, this nigga, he's still welcome in my home.
My church
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's why when she did what she did, like, did she think about how her utterances would affect?
Of course not.
The family, because news came out at the burial site. She was not allowed. Court interdict. She was not even allowed there.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, she couldn't pay her final respects at the gravesite. That it hurts, bro. It hurts when you are not allowed to do that. Imagine not being allowed at the final resting place. Yo, that.
I wonder how that works in terms of.
That's nuts.
How people are that what do you show that video and say
yes?
What I'm was
hostile.
Yes.
Hostile.
Yes.
She might cause a scene.
Yeah, she's hostile.
She's not a reasonable person.
Yeah, she's hostile.
And happy.
Sorry, Taban.
Yeah.
I just wonder how that will work in other countries, because obviously our magistrates or judges work within an African context.
Yeah.
So he or she is able to empathize. I don't know how that would work if it's a white judge or magistrate, but so
let me grant this.
The ask is actually warranted.
Yes.
Is a gross violation.
No, but happy. Remember that a funeral is still right of entry reserved. It's like a club. It's a social space, but if I'm a wife, I'm recognized as the owner of this occasion.
Yes.
And I can, my right of reservation is reserved.
It rests with you.
Because when these people give on a right, go funeral because so I decide who's gonna be here and who's not gonna be here. So if I have to go to court to make sure that other people don't have to be here, the court will listen to me.
A marriage is such a weird thing, because I wonder how it used to work because no tolore, your spouse is the primary, in fact, only shareholder in things concerning you.
Yes.
Right? I wonder how it used to work, Khale Bedi. Was the wife given as much powers over your affairs after you passed away?
No. It was the
Does it fall back to your does it fall back to your family?
Yeah, because remember Hangad Khale they push the homestead. It's the family. That's as wow. That or whoever, like it was the family that had a right over you. So in a civil context, your wife is regarded as so. Here's an interesting one. So had there been a square off between the daughter and her own mother, where the daughter says, "I want my aunt," then that could have gone to court, and the court would have had to decide, Hore, she has a vested interest because you have a vested interest because it's your husband. Then that could have been a square off that would have been
but the wife still holds the primary power.
But if she's of a legal age,
because if
she is a mitigating
no,
factor.
even worse if she's of an illegal age.
Legal. If she's of a legal age,
like she's a major.
Yes.
Know what you mean?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. It's even worse.
Why?
Because once you're a major, you're no longer the responsibility of. That's why when it comes to things like estate, right, and let's say maybe there's no will or whatever, right, the wife reserves the right to keep all of that shit to herself.
Yes.
She doesn't even have to give, as long as they're majors. Yes. Because if they're minors, then the court might compel you to give something to Bana.
Okay.
Right? But if, say maybe, for example, you get married, Bana, you have a sizable estate, you and your wife divorce, you go and marry some other young baddie elsewhere, and you don't have a will. Right? You don't have a will. Your wife at your time of death, that's her estate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's her estate. But now, because they're over 18, I call.
But
But
in this case, there's a difference.
Yeah.
The difference is the following: is that if there are two parties that have a vested interest in this party that has deceased, when you are a minor, what the scenario you're explaining takes effect because unfortunately, Mwana is not of a sound mind. So automatically the mother will take the role of being the chief mourner or the shareholder. But if the court says, if I'm a major and I have something to express about my father, so let's say so I believe in Mwaka is vindictive. Because you're a major, the court says that has a material impact because you're of a sound mind.
I don't agree with that because we saw how that worked out for what's this? Double HP's father.
Oh yeah.
We saw how that worked out. They were trying to ostracise the wife. The wife.
Yeah.
The wife is the almighty, bro.
Yeah, the wife is
unless
the almighty.
You can prove that putting something.
It's just that the difference guy, the son was a minor. It would have been interesting.
No, even besides the minor thing, like Msadi Hadi said, okay, Mutuna Gomu Pata Houting, as opposed to Kwa Mulu Bata Houting. Munoto Pata Houting.
The wife can decide that, bro.
Actually,
the wife can decide that.
You're bringing something like so my mom.
Hey, there's always Fuki
this nigga. So my mom, my siblings are Zulu.
Yeah.
Because my mom and my dad were never married. Like my father passed away like when I was 1 or whatever.
It was never official.
Who?
Their marriage.
No, my mom, they never married.
Oh, okay.
Then my mom married the father of my siblings. That's why I told you my siblings are Zulus.
Yeah.
So years later, so whatever, maybe I accompany more. So the next thing, the thing about Bumme, they always consider their kids over their relationship.
Yeah.
Because they are.
No, not babang. Yeah.
So now what consult or hey man, chance let's say about the lemons maybe say money more to our but she has to consult. I only do this fast. I think it was must have been 5 or 6 years ago. Nike told them to our and I'm talking about Uguacalinyalo and whatnot. Yeah, bro, I was feeling froggy, bro. So I said to Oli, okay, Sharp, I've known you for 30 years of my life.
Single.
So how nyala demand? How nyala demand? How come after 3 months, this nigga decides everything about you?
Everything.
Yeah. So if nigga about the whole party la high, wabo. So you see that thing, now.
It will get you feeling salty.
Yeah. So I'm feeling froggy. I'm like, you my mom. I share surname with you, but if you decide to get married, your husband
takes over that.
Yeah, if you die in 3 days after marrying him, he is dictating the program, the location, the menu. So now I'm saying, in that scenario, if I was going to court as a major and saying I am now interdicting my mom's husband in the decision, the court will listen to me.
But you won't win.
I might not win.
Yeah, so now I'm not disputing whether the court will listen to you or not, or whether you can dispute what you won't win or not. I'm saying that the likelihood of you winning that case is low.
You won't win, bro.
It's low, bro.
You won't win.
The likelihood of you winning that case is low. You
won't win.
This guy had he came into a marriage with 2 sons. Yeah? And his wife came into a marriage with 2 sons. Four.
Okay. 4 kids.
Little boy, maybe. And there's no will. As soon as the entire estate falls on him.
Yeah. And all hell.
These other 2, they only like getting covered and getting shit.
Fuck. We'll just share about high
Ain't getting shit. And Nahana, his 2 sons, weren't even born by Dowley.
Yeah. But
they're gonna benefit off of her estate because her own children that came from her womb.
They have 4 sons, but they don't have kids together.
They don't have kids.
They don't have 4
kids. But the household has got 4 sons.
Yeah, the household has 4 sons.
2 from the mom, 2 from the dad.
I can say.
And the sons are all majors. Not who look out for it. So Zarena na kya timely.
It will timely.
Timely na yeno to shebela.
Bahai.
And the law assumes if you not aling fair,
he will distribute equally.
No. The law assumes that as a major, you're no longer the responsibility of the parents.
Yeah.
So the discretion yabatswadi to
Okay,
decide whether baofa
or not.
Nah.
You're supposed to take care of yourself.
You're fucking 40 years old, B.
My
nigga,
I'll be salty as fuck. I'm gonna get that to about to buy some fun.
Okay, so and now to drive it back to the Rahai. You see, get that thing it's wrong. So sometimes I always never want to discuss whether something is wrong or right. But what triggers behavior? Because that's what we need to understand.
Yeah.
Because we always assume that lady, she never invested, she'll trend like this. So clearly she didn't wake up
and people
with
found
a sinister mind. So now I'm saying, you see, ha ke bona gore man re legacy ha ntho tsa di ahileng e le hore nako e ntse phela ntse ke re ke khupiswa gore Khotman o la tla nthae a re man ngwana wa bona go jena so ke bona pina Khotman. Then ha Khotman e hlokahale, I also see where the person that caused you the most grief is walking out with this shit.
Wow. And she said it. She said,
hey,
Lebhang was in pain. That's how she started that thing. Lebhang was in pain.
And she said,
but then that's why how to at least in the Christian context. you leave your family
You leave
behind.
your family.
And men and
Go
women
and
will
form-
Join.
no,
Yeah.
you
Said,
live
yeah.
And
your
I
mother
think,
and father's house.
yeah, because marriage means a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Because when you decide to get into it, you need to really understand
What it means.
that you're really signing over your entire life to this person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bophelo ba hao kaofela.
Offer.
Yeah. What's gonna happen to you after you're gone is also there.
Decided by
Yeah.
emotion.
And you're right, Barbara. Spain we explain now, so was there's cause of death. Now I know you are trying to make it sound like Musadu Kena. So, but to go back to what I was saying, and to the scenario we say I will. So I'm saying, imagine me, my sister, know stuff about my wife. Or 25-year-old in Matisa Mase.
Angel.
So, you see, because this thing was not premeditated. I'm like, inside of me,
This chief mourner.
so I may end up rebelling.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's taking the business, she's taking the house. And I can last week and I'm not saying that's what happened.
Yeah.
I'm just putting a scenario.
Yeah, we just.
So what I'm saying is that I can understand why
that would
a
happen.
moment would happen.
Yeah, at that event, at that moment.
What's that finally like? It's finally Mosadi, ananali dizaga ne. Mara asaba to tshwarisa monna ro mo shapa. Ebe a hlokahala mosadi. And this nigga, abusive little devil, and the siblings, both ba share. But this is getting everything. And sister Natla Horna was a sort of demand. So how can Lifu? That's why you see now. Because Lifu, it's a signal of a moment of it's a finality.
It's a final moment.
So even things that I was never allowed, you see now, I couldn't have gone to the cops, said there's hashapan. So now, whether it's embarrassment or whatever, I just feel like this is the last moment. This is the only occasion that I can just say, fuck this. It's a fuck you to him.
I think something similar to what you're saying happened to some prominent person who passed away.
Yes.
Some lady.
A businesswoman.
Yeah, businesswoman who passed away.
So
and
you
then
should
at that
and a certain
But then now
they pointing fingers to the husband, but
and we accident.
mare he moshapeng wa ka ne msere ka bantsa qhedile lenyalo I guess so he lenyalo is still on.
Yeah, but what they were trying to do is that don't sit there proud as if
Oh.
Sky Mono
As if
don't cry too much.
Hawalahlela.
Too much as in when
And now,
Okay.
and now,
and
now Kalifu, you are the main character. And when we see this outpouring sympathy to you, fuck this nigga.
Yeah, fuck this nigga.
Because we saw you with this gold that you're not even caring for.
Yeah, only
now that this gold
is no longer.
Everybody is trying to imagine how I because so we get froggy when we see the attention that's given to you as if when now you are a chief mourner.
Yeah, you shouldn't be the chief.
Yeah, you shouldn't be. But
Yeah, I get why you would do that, Marie.
Yeah, I want to get that sometimes, especially when we paint these narratives. Okay, we can all agree the funeral shouldn't be the platform, but we can understand
this
when sometimes that happens.
Or maybe the funeral can be the platform because who am I really disrespecting there? Who am I disrespecting?
It shouldn't be.
Because this thing is dead, bro. So I'm actually disrespecting two that are there to support.
But I agree, like Tabang always says, is that there's a sense of occasion.
Yes.
Sometimes respect the occasion. That's why we can all agree, or I think we should all agree, or it shouldn't be the platform, but we can understand if sometimes it is.
Yes, because it's a sense of finality.
Yeah, or because there might be mitigating factors or aggravating factors that allow you to go it's
Yeah, I mean, depend.
It's at a blind.
As with most things.
Yeah, it's at a blind. But otherwise, in future, let's move on.
The director ST lab.
Guy will find about IST. This week as well, Clicks came through. Clicks the store.
Clicks. Compensate this, get this scam.
Yeah. Are they competitors or are they part of the same group?
Competitors.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So apparently on the website, never posted by advertise and
Google the story.
and they were just opposing black hair and white, and then how do you snap some side are black, but well, it's freeze, it's bad, like the adjective that they were using,
dull dry hair,
then but it's like a blonde hair, but smooth, sleeky, you know what I'm saying? And it was that juxtaposition, black white. And so Babuama say baka black, Babuan to the shabaka white. You know, and obviously they got called out for that shit. You know, they came through yesterday with the apology. It's a buy, but people weren't buying that. You know, Kibone Kanagman Hunali Auchi apostilling the board of Clicks. Hella white. Hella white in India. Hella white in Indian. If you look at that board, yeah, Kushik. Yeah, he posted. Yeah, he posted.
Your nemesis.
My nemesis. Nah, he does good work. It's just that I get sometimes his personality.
Then it's fuck you.
He can't be a nemesis if he doesn't know you exist.
Yeah, he knows.
Why?
He's tweeted you.
It's one-sided. Yeah. But when he does good work out here, I'm gonna give him his props. So Ola posted the board of Clicks. Hello white, India, but hello white, hello. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And my question in LA,
was he the one that made it blow up?
No. Oh. Actually, it Chirinyane postile those dinepete unatile screenshot of the website, and then I tagged Clicks yo, this looks hella racist to me, and then people just jumped on that tweet. The fire started, you know, and the fire started. Yeah. So Nick about like and we've seen, this is not the first time we saw that happen with H&M. Yeah. Okay. The sensitivity to these things, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like for somebody to sign something Israel off to be placed on that website. Because Clicks came out with a statement, but they admitted it was a mistake and they will try to fix it going forward. But come on, bro. Like if there's black people they'll tell you easy or give my say by this thing. They'll tell you easy or give my say by this thing.
I don't know how they do it, man. I don't know how they do it.
Or do they contact agencies and what do we call Savannah as well? Because Savannah also got called out.
But it was gender issues.
Yeah, it was gender issues, not race necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Okay, your ad included a statement of this content producer, and then your ad is all male, and then you guys don't even bring that content the content creator who came up with the catchphrase that you were using.
Content creator being?
There's a lady with in the video.
Faro or something. Yeah. Farafi. And then 12 packs and
then they did another one with her.
Yeah, with her.
And I love it. They give her a play. Yeah.
People pissed all over that one too.
No, I liked it. I didn't necessarily piss on it.
So many people.
Yeah, I saw people pissed on it.
It's not good content, or it's
they were judging the quality.
Oh, it's taking. Okay.
Yeah, they were judging the quality of it. I took it for what it was. I took it for the brand trying to make a
they were redeeming themselves.
Maybe in a quick job.
It was.
I get hard.
But it wasn't a catchphrase coined by her. I mean, we've been calling Savannah Siavana since we were young boys.
Yeah, but she made it
popularized
viral.
it.
She popularized.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
popularized it.
I wouldn't say she made it popular.
She did.
Nah.
She made it a viral moment, bro. Like on social
Twitter,
media.
yes.
Yeah, she
But
made
it's
it a
not
viral
like
moment.
it's not like it's something that we didn't know as a nation who that's what it's called.
Yes.
Is what I'm seeing.
Oh yeah, no,
Is what
I
I'm
can't.
saying,
I
yeah.
can't. But
she just became the face of it.
the face of it, yeah.
She became the face
She
of it
became
because
the
of the
face.
viral moment.
Yes, because of the viral moment. And if you're gonna put somebody to put that, rather put her
Yes.
as the face.
Yes.
You know, because you
Yes,
can't
it
be
would
that
make
whole-
sense to
It
include
makes sense.
Yeah.
include her.
And you are
yeah.
right how the job was. Actually, the reaction to it being a low quality work, it's true. But at the end of the day, Lebona, their objective was never to create good content to go out, was to redeem themselves.
Yeah.
Because of that shit.
But when I make up at it, when I direct, okay, let's
Yeah, how much video fast?
actually, so the two don't cancel each other out.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so Trixie. Hi.
Yeah, break that shit down, bro.
No one sila pana company tsamangamla ne.
And in marketing in particular,
Let's pana Rwanda.
you know, in marketing, these moments are always gonna come, and it's not the last one. Ne? And when they happen, it shows you that the issue is more structural. So, for example, you can't have in South Africa where 90% of the people are black, ne?
Yeah.
And then the content that's being created is consumed by black South Africans, ne?
Mm-hmm.
But agencies and companies that own content creation are the opposite.
Yeah, but I'm going to look at the tabangs in the corporation.
Yeah.
To say where was he when these decisions were taken?
But Tabang is there, he's just a marketing manager, but the owner of the agency or appointed CEO or whatever the case might be.
Okay.
So when the pitch goes out, is that's why the issue is structural. It's structural in a sense that even when you put all these agencies, they can tell you that we are PE compliant. Ne? It means they are black owned administratively.
Yeah, so meaning that you don't have the final say. In fact, this campaign could even come up without you even having seen it. Yeah, okay. That's what I wanted to get to.
Yes.
Because they did talk about the transformation that's been happening within Clicks. They've been doing really good in terms of including black representation in the senior management and whatnot. I'm not in marketing, but I can tell you how certain things, like in the workplace, it's very hard for you to take like a hard stance. You know, the best you can do is give a recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to say, truly it's amana. Understand what you guys aim to achieve. Now, truly it's amana. This is how it's going to look, right? And I'm cautioning you against it.
It won't land this way.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't have
the power.
I don't have the power to make you not do it.
It's not your job. It's not in your scope. Yeah.
Yes, right. But as a black man here, I'm telling you that what you're doing here, this is how it's going to look, right? And I need you to be prepared for whatever repercussions may come as a result of this decision that you're trying to take. And then I leave it at that.
Yes.
You know, what this Clicks situation shows is that there wasn't a black person that
Or there was.
Oh, there could have been, but
Habu.
But it could have been me.
He had no authority.
I don't have
but he had an opinion that mattered. But because he does not have the authority in the function, like I remember when I used to work for Coca-Cola, I launched some pack. I can't remember the launching. So never had a direct translation. A slogan.
Did you have the power to change it?
Yeah, because I was in marketing.
Yeah.
Well, when and I happen we tend to assume that when these decisions are taken, there are no black people in that boardroom.
Yeah.
It's a false assumption.
Yeah.
It's a false assumption to make. Yes, sometimes it can be true that there might be no black people in that forum, but it's a very false assumption to make. You might find that the black people in that forum are either junior, it could be an intern, you know, who said, but, you know,
and then about
she gets drowned out in the conversation taking place. It could be the sound offs that are required for that campaign to go out. None of the black people that are in the boardroom are in that sound off
signing
line.
off is not a sign off. Even the legally you have to sign head of marketing. But every time you sign, you look at this thing.
You understand? And it's not like every campaign or every ad that goes out finds itself on the table of the CEO.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, then she might as well be micromanaging the entire company.
Yeah.
It's a big corporation.
Yeah,
you know? But there are people whose responsibility it is
About Sepile.
to
do the right thing.
who were mandated with this function. And they fucked it up.
Yeah.
And now what that then does, it makes the company look like yes. And rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
Because that's where the back stops.
Where the back stops.
Yeah, man, it was. I saw that thing. It was messy.
Yeah, it's racism.
Sure.
It's racism, though. Emily.
So now I wonder if
it's racist.
If that picture was because I never saw what it looked like on the website.
They pulled it off.
Yeah, they took it down.
They would have put it down, but I guess it doesn't matter how it was placed.
Now when I saw the screenshot, Emily, they're very clear.
It doesn't matter.
It's a comparison between black and white. It's a clear comparison.
I remember I was watching an ad yesterday, VW, and I noticed just how, as much as, you know, these scandals might happen now and then, the brands are really, you know, working on eggshells.
They gotta.
Yeah, they're working on eggshells. You can see even in the ads that are coming out. If you watch the ads closely, you can see that
I see less black people dancing in ads now.
You can see the brands are really working on eggshells. I watched this VW ad. There's a lady and a man at the table. There's a black woman and a white man on a date, right? And this white man unale heartburn, right? And he says, you know, you didn't remind me to take my heartburn tablets. Now I'm gonna have a bad night, right? Then some guy pops out of nowhere saying, well, we can go. The ad was around parts, like buying parts, replacing parts in a car, Robert. And he took that man. He replaced the parts. That's not heartburn, but. So the message was, this is how we do it at VW. Quality parts, make your car good as new, type of thing going on, right? If they had put a black man there, if they had put a black man, what are you trying to say about the black man?
Yeah.
That's what we do. Hey, because Vele, the black man, he carries the image of somebody that needs to be improved. Now you have to go replace parts in us. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw that ad.
It would have been some shit.
If they did their homework.
If they put a black man there, and then putting a black man there might not have meant anything, but we would have made it there.
That's why I mentioned, like, these days we hardly see the ads that black people jacking and jiving.
Yeah,
because that was the narrative. Aromat rajive, KFC rajive, ding rajive. Nah, bro. Arehan ramasip aga jive. Arehan ramasip.
Chokoti.
Yeah.
Only Chokoti.
Yeah.
My nigga, I'm up at airport, innit? I jive said he won't. Fuck, we just dancing.
Yeah, we just dance, bro. we just out here just fucking dancing all the time. I'm glad, bro, there's pressure. I'm glad that they're working on eggshells, because you gotta represent us better. You are marketing these products for us. Direct Kirona. You gotta do better by us, bro. You gotta do better.
And you have the burden.
Yeah, and I'm glad Clicks got called the fuck out. I'm glad they got called the fuck out. I think they take a lot went through something similar.
Yes, kind of in take a lot.
Some people take a lot in the but nearly something racist too.
Yeah.
And they got called out. Nah, we gotta call all these motherfuckers out, bro. You gotta.
It's just that
Yeah, I'm for it.
Yeah, I'm down for
I'm with
it.
it. I'm with it.
I'm with it.
It's just that I always see that the backlash does not translate into their bottom line a lot of times because, you know, you still need their products.
Yeah, we still need the products.
You know what I mean?
It's hard to cancel.
Mm.
They're hard to cancel. Like clicks is hard to cancel, bro. Like a lot of your toiletries were like at least.
Yeah.
I'm a Discam kind of guy. But
Yeah. I might move to Discam. Nebula, I thought group A1. Yeah. So if you're telling me Discam is not clicks, I'll go to Discam now. You know, I'll go to Discam. But then I wanted to also bring just a quick segue from this. Zbu Ulonchile Mofaya drinks.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, he had his whole hurrah this week as well. And then people was bringing his business dealings in music.
Yeah.
As a hore Ramsapota Kamunana, you know, because Kamunana, you know, Najabatu, or well, it's alleged or Najabatu, he's holding the rights to people's music. And when I was discussing it Lemochu during the week, and they brought up the whole music thing, I was like, yo, on the music side it's business.
It is business.
On the music side it's business, because we don't know the contracts, number one. We don't know whether Zbu is owed money.
You see, the sad part
on those catalogs.
The sad part about these independent music labels, record labels, the black-owned independent music labels, is that they come into the industry, right, with contracts that are in line with what the rest of the industry is doing.
Yeah.
Your Sonys, your Universals, your Atlantic, your Columbias, right? These are standard contracts with a few, you know, nuances
tricks
here and there, you know. But these are standard industry contracts. But because there was a black man that came and did it and started a company of his own and started signing artists with the same standard contract that you would have received anywhere else. Yeah. You want to come and attack me personally?
Yeah. And then the expectation became different because the ownership profile was different.
Black.
But I was doing business based on industry best
norms and best practices. Yes.
That's why when I was discussing it the homie, I was like, what Boo was doing on the music side was business. Or when he was discussing Pro, the catalog Pro came after Pro. Then I was like, yo, what if Pro owed Boo money?
But even if, you see, that's the part I don't understand, because as a label owner or as a label exec, I would want that music on the streaming platform so I can recoup.
You can recoup.
Yeah. So I don't understand why. I really don't understand albums that are not on the streaming platforms. I don't know why they're doing that.
Unless maybe the contract in terms of the royalties. Let's say if that guy owed you, right? Because how the contract maybe would be is that when the royalties get paid out, they get paid out to the artist, right?
Okay.
They get paid. They don't get paid out to the artist.
Well, it depends on the type of royalty.
Yeah.
But the streaming royalty would go to the labels.
Would go to the label
They
to distribute to the artist.
Yeah, and then
because I thought they go to,
and then the artist gets they cut.
They cut from the label.
Yeah, because the streaming is part of the it's part of the composition and the recording. And that the label owns that.
Yeah, like the homie saying the owner of the masters cannot tolang.
Yeah, the copyright of the recording. I mean, not
the
the copyright in the recording goes to the label, right? The copyright in the composition goes to the publisher.
It would be interesting to hear Zbu's side on this. You know, that's okay. Because now it seems like him keeping the music off the streaming platforms was vindictive. Okay, because that's how people make it seem. Okay, when I keep the music, yeah, brown dash, yeah, pro, okay, baskaja. That's the narrative. That's the narrative.
Shooting himself in the foot too.
That's also shooting. That's
why I don't understand. I really didn't understand why
they kept it off the platform.
Why would you not put these albums? Because this is you recouping your costs. But I'm almost certain that his side of the story is going to include the side of the story of many other record labels that, you know, I closed you. You know, I put you in a whip.
Lance.
I'll put you in a house. You know, this entire time you've been living off me, that wasn't free. This is your bill. This is what you've recouped. This is how much you still owe me.
I need my money.
And that's our contract.
Yeah.
I need my money.
That's our contract.
Business, bro.
You know, that's just the business.
With me, when I was looking at Boo's launch, and people trying to mix the two, okay, how are you gonna support this nigga? Anajala Bato, music. Kada in the music, kada. I can support Boo, come on.
Yeah, in fact, it's just going back to
support Boo everywhere.
Yeah.
Just going to your Naya, the streaming or non-streaming or whatever, because I was looking for Dux's first album because he was under Carol Ruff.
Oh, with Lanson.
Yeah, so Dux was under Carol Ruff, then Abajo Taso, Impact Music. So Morafe entire catalog is with
Dux's.
No, it's with Carol Ruff, but it's not on streaming platforms.
Morafe.
Yeah. Morafe and Dux, they are not.
Yeah, Marapula is not on
Is
streaming.
it there now?
It's not. It's not.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I looked for it. It's not.
Yes, it's not there. Dux Mafuku Ame is not on streaming platforms.
It's not on streaming.
In fact, the first two albums that Dux
Get her off was Lance, ne?
Yeah. So MC Prayer, Mafuku Ame is not on streaming platforms. If you want to or like there are some artists that I know personally.
Marapula kya?
I think.
Yeah,
I
kya.
was looking for them
On
the other
Spotify,
check this out
yeah.
for man.
Marapula, the anticipation.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you go?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's on.
But
it's recent. Though. It's a recent.
You just discover it.
Did you go?
Marapula.
Anticipation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2004.
Yeah.
It's on.
So I think sometimes what happens is that, and this is just my hypothesis, is that in these platforms, for you to make something available, there must be agreement between not only two. So it's like I need you but I hate you. Ne? Yes, if we both agree, we'll both make money. But if we are not finding each other, fuck you. So the artist could either say, I do want to make money out of this thing, but not Lance Ralwa.
So fuck it.
But Lance owns
The master.
the recording.
Because
So Lance
My
can
signature
continue
still
to
wanted.
do with it whatever he pleases. It's his
What if it's
then it doesn't make sense. That's what I'm kidding. This thing then doesn't make sense, because then why is it not? I still feel like it's one of those where, yes, one might get a bigger portion. I still feel like maybe one needs the other, like the signature. I don't know.
Let me walk back that statement. He can't do whatever he pleases with it, right? But he can sell the recording.
Okay.
You understand? He can sell the recording. So I can put it on any platform to sell the recording. I can't score it. But I can
film or whatever.
Yeah, but I can sell that product
to make money?
I recorded it. It's mine.
So I'm asking.
And then I pay you. It's like doing an assignment for varsity when you're doing a year-end assignment and it ends up being you know, the fine print will tell you that the IP belongs to the
university. So
because you use my resources to produce this work.
So here's a question.
Yeah.
From a layman's point of view, everybody will tell you Dux's first album is one of the best hip hop albums.
It makes sense to put it on.
So I'm saying, Lance has been told,
put it on.
And
there.
from hearing that, you know that this is money. Every time somebody asks me this, that's somebody saying, 50 rand.
Why?
So why isn't this shit on? Lance on the issues.
Or you could find that maybe the nature of the contract is such that
both
he
need to.
Again, that's the hypothesis that I was putting with it.
Yeah,
there is no way that one of these parties has the power to act outside of the other while making money.
Yeah, both need to sign them off.
That's what I was saying.
Or it can more.
But now if we don't find each other, fuck you, it's fuck you. Like we are both losing
and
money.
Ukatola maybe in situation as Boo into the pro, maybe if we take in your hypothesis, let's say pro na fuck, I don't want it on because now it's Boo closure. And maybe we beefing.
Yeah.
But now since Mfana passed away, it's a lady I think Boo now can act.
Yes.
And put
that's
it on
some
the
evil
screen.
shit if you don't want me to eat.
Yeah.
Even at the expense of you not eating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like how evil you gotta be.
Jelly.
Yeah, I don't want to believe that part.
Yeah, it's just that the narrative now. The narrative
Paints Boo
paints Boo as the one, as the evil one.
Yeah, no, I don't want to go with that.
I want to hear Boo's side. I'm so curious to hear on the side. Yes, Boo as the record label owner. Yeah,
it's correct.
Yeah, as the record label owner, Alright, guys.
Let me do a stop.
Yeah, we're gonna take a break.
All right.
No, because load shedding tells us at 12 we're gonna load shed. So
pause here, guys.
So my thing is this, Des, is that there's the hard work and then there's the easy work.
It's like how fair, might as well take advantage.
Sure.
It's not that Basadi have a rape with South Africa. It's just that to prove it is hard work. For men, it's easy for a man to say, people are hating on my success, and that's why they're accusing me of this thing. Because there's no hard work required for him to prove his innocence. So whenever there's a dispute between a label and an artist, I always feel like the artist has an audience because people listen to the artist. So the shell that bodies my work is the artist. I don't listen to the label.
You listen to the
so
artist.
Because the label does not have a mouthpiece
to speak their side.
The public sympathy.
Falls. No, I pause. I thought we paused.
No, I said Mr. do stop start so that even if it goes off, we still have the recording at the last. So what I'm saying is that believing an artist is always going to be the easy work. Because believing an artist is wanting to believe the man. Because the man says there was no evidence. You get my point? But the woman is the label.
Because Hannah, it's hard to prove.
Yeah, because the label says if a woman goes out now and says there's no repeal, we understand there's going to be public sympathy. I believe her. I can keep moving. I believe her.
Yeah.
Now a man is like, what do I do?
It's so hard.
So whenever there's a dispute between a label and an artist, because effectively, even though I thought the parallel is far-fetched, is the artist saying I was raped? So that's what we are dealing with. So every time there's a dispute between artists, an artist says I was raped, and we believe the artist. That's what's happening. Every time a label, an artist says Kajewa, that's rape. We are saying, let's believe the artist.
Yeah, that's why we sided with MT. That's why we sided with Fifi Cooper. We demonized
the
Ambitious, the label. But the label could have clearly easily came up with a contract.
So because I mean it's a business venture.
It's a business, bro.
It's a business venture. If I'm saying that,
that's nigga.
You know, you have some promise. You know, you show some promise. I'd like to invest in you.
I'm betting.
Yeah, I'd like to financially back your
ambition.
Your ambition, right? I'm going to give you everything that you need in order to make sure that your talent is heard by
everyone. Yeah,
everyone, right? And at the time at which you sign the deal, you don't have anything.
On the next. So obviously
you can't even get into a joint venture. Sorry, Des. You can't even get into a joint venture.
You've got no assets.
You are not partners.
On the next.
You're not partners. This guy is your financier, right? And he says that I will give you 20%, right? Even 20, right? I'll give you 20% of the proceeds from
this shit pops off, yeah.
If this thing pops off. Yeah. When we happen to make 100 million rand, and you only walk away with 20.
It looks unfair.
It looks so unfair.
And I got 80. It looks unfair, right?
Yeah.
It looks very unfair.
The optics of it look unfair.
Yeah. But wouldn't you have made that 100 million
without me?
If it was not
wouldn't have.
You wouldn't
at all.
You wouldn't have.
But
at all.
So now when you go and squander that 20 million rand, for example, that maybe came over a period of 5 years, when you go and chow it, yeah? The optics then say, if he had a larger portion of this 100 million, he wouldn't still be broke. Because then he'd still have money that came from the sweat from his brow, which is his work.
Which is not true.
Right? It could be. But that's not the argument.
That's not the contention.
Yeah, right? Yeah. he'd still have money if he had more share in, you know. But bro, if I'm the primary investor, wow,
Why?
there's a line there, Pusha T, right? He says, why would I ever 50-50 you and half of me?
Yeah.
Yeah, my nigga. Why would I 50-50? Why would I do that?
What did you come in with?
Yeah.
I came with nothing, B.
You came in with nothing.
So that it can be 50-50.
You came with...
It's not a matter of equals.
We didn't feel like a talent.
Hey,
Yeah.
the only thing that you had to do was make music, which you would have made either way without me.
Yes. But I came through...
And this here, what you're doing is, this is your passion, your love.
But I came through and Guy Shiny said I wanted.
So
I gotta recoup.
but
bro.
you see, when it
I
comes
gotta recoup.
from a sentimental point of view, then when it comes to the complaint, the inverse is true. So the 80-20 principle. So 80% of the time when the artist complains, the sentiment goes to the artist against the label.
Because we love the artist's work. We love it.
Yeah.
I just look at the art.
Yeah.
I look at MT. I love Roll Up
Yeah.
or that song
Because
that he did.
I think it's because...
And I'm like, he needs to succeed.
yeah,
'Cause I love
because
this nigga.
we know that the nature of the contract is fucked up, right? And even if it's not 50-50, I think we can all agree that those splits
are
are not
fucked up to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
are not fair.
Yeah.
Even if all he's doing is bringing the music.
Yeah.
That's the product.
That's the part.
That's the product, right? In which other industry do you know where the producer of the product
Is the one
It's getting the lead.
gets fucked by the retailer?
Yes.
Huh? Are the farmers getting fucked by...
No.
They make the most in that
They
chain.
make the
pick and
most
place
in the
and
value
whatnot.
chain, bro.
My nigga, I sell it to you, and which was what Joey was saying. He was saying that when they were talking about the cost of a street, and he said, I would like to meet the nigga that set this price. How are you setting a price for something that you did not make? I set the price for you, nigga. I tell you how much this shit is worth.
Cost me.
Because I make this shit.
I made it.
And I gotta recoup.
Yeah. And I gotta recoup. I keep niggas 3 hours on a podcast.
Yeah, I made it. So how you gonna tell me, or an industry tell me how much this thing
much
is worth
that is.
when I'm the one that sat here for 3 hours of my life twice a week?
Yeah. And the way he made it sound is as if, you know, they were just pricing it just a little bit above how you would price a streaming something 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were just trying to give him just a little bit just above that. But he's like, yo, I keep niggas here for 3 hours, bro.
Away from their family, their wives. And
I keep
kids.
niggas on your platform for 3 hours.
And we listen to the last
And we listen
hour.
to the last hour, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta get paid for that.
Yeah,
I gotta get paid for that.
those splits I don't really agree with. I'm of the opinion that if you're gonna take a lot from the sales royalty, right? Even if we were to make it 80-20, right? You need to give me more splits in other avenues.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why those 360s
Yeah, so that I can at least eat off, you know.
the tour.
Yeah, I remember when I was still doing the
Artist management.
the sound course. I did a sound course, go Academy of Sound, right? And there was a lawyer guy that was lecturing us there. He was saying that when you're negotiating a contract, it's a give and take. You know, you say, okay, these are the splits on the sales royalty, right? Yeah. What do those splits look like with the shows? What do those splits look like with the publishing? What do those splits look like with the sign-on bonus? You know, so we can say, you can go in the boardroom saying that actually I want 40%, and the company says, nah, we'll only give you 30, right? So what you should be doing is saying, okay, I'll take 30,
Yeah.
right? I'll take 30 on the condition that instead of 100K, you give me 300,000 rand as a bonus. You understand? Like there's a
Give and take.
so that you let him go of that 10.
You get
And
compensated
I'm just making
for
an
it.
example because even that 200,000 won't be enough to cover for that 10 that you let him go. It could be a hell of a lot more money.
Yeah.
You know, but that's how you need to.
And it's a risk that you take
Yeah, you need to look at what all the splits look like, what all the revenue streams look like
across the board.
and see where they can make concessions, because more often than not with the sales royalty you're gonna get the least because the copyright in the recording, you still have to pay this the studio time. There's the engineer.
And if I'm talking those guys.
There's the producer. There's the people that print the CDs. Everything. Everybody gets paid before you get paid last.
Yeah.
So Katula, out of 100 rand, you're only gonna get $14 or $5 out of $100 because everybody needs to get paid before you come in. Yeah. And those people that are getting paid are probably not even getting paid on a ongoing basis. But they had to get paid. Why not last? Right? And it's because you're going to earn last that you get given an advance. So hold this. Because by the time your money comes through, it'll be late. Right? So hold this. But then now, when the money that you owed from the company,
they need to recoup,
is less than the advance that we gave you, then ain't no money coming your way.
Nothing.
There's nothing coming your way.
That's why.
Then the album, that's why it's important. That's why a lot of the time the artists will complain about the label didn't push my album enough. Because I could have recouped because the album didn't sell at the rate that it should have. The marketing team needs to be behind me so that my album sells, so that I can recoup sooner, so that I can start making money sooner. But now I'm broke because nobody cared about my album at the end.
I want to get that's why because then it becomes the inverse when the talent becomes so successful beyond his imagination, beyond the label's imagination. You know what I'm saying? Like with MT, like homie blew up huge. You know what I'm saying? But then when it's time to sit down, it looks so.
Yeah, you need to renegotiate. You need to look at your contract. This is when it ends. Am I re-signing? If I'm gonna re-sign, these are my terms.
And it becomes so difficult because sometimes when these boys sign on, they sign on for, let's say, like 4 album deals, right? The first one is a smash, and you kind of feel like it's that at that point I need to renegotiate. But you signed for 4 albums.
But I feel like in this day and age,
you signed for 4 albums.
In this day and age, you should not be signing on for more than 2.
Yeah,
especially with the amount of information that's out in the industry right now. You can't be signing contracts for more than 2 albums.
Yeah, bro.
4 albums.
Yeah, we're talking a nigga sitting down with 4 albums down, bro.
Nah.
In fact,
I would say 1 album deal.
Yeah.
1 album deals.
Because your value changes, bro. Your value changes.
And if you have access to money, JVs.
Joint ventures.
So this was a nice segue. So our director tapes on Romance. So the message, it's a post from Bongisi Melane. So Bongisi Melane is actually an artist with 5th Season. I don't know if she still sings.
Can I 5th Season?
AKA
Benza.
No. What's her vocalist? You might get vocalist.
Benza got vocalist.
Yeah, vocalist.
Oh my God. So and homie is up next.
Yeah, he's up next.
Homie is the next one.
So Bongisi Melane, wasn't her name Vulan? Yeah. She was, ne?
She's married.
She's married now. Okay. My one wish for the music industry is for it to become increasingly difficult for record labels to thieve from artists. Do you want me to read the conversation as well after that? And then our director about music contracts are the first problem. They cannot be understood by a layman. They are written in confusing language and there are far too many elements to keep track of. Even seasoned musicians struggle to understand some of these contracts without seeking legal advice. This should not be the case. Think of it this way. How many people have needed to consult with the lawyer before signing an employment contract?
You don't.
No, but I don't think that the music contracts are deliberately being made to be complicated. I think all contracts are like that, right? Because when the contract of employment comes, like, be honest, right? I'm sure there's very few of us here that read through that shit with a fine.
My nigga, I didn't read that shit. My nigga, I'm getting employed. I'm signing.
Yeah.
You understand? But there are people that will read it, You know, and you know there'll be certain. You just want to know if it adheres to the Employment Equity Act.
Yeah.
You know, you want to know what your remuneration is, leave and the benefits. You know, but you're not gonna go and read all the other stuff like the social media policies.
Yeah.
And you know all of that stuff that could come back to bite you, right? But I do think, admittedly so, that the employment contracts are a lot simpler from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. But contracts,
Commercial contracts.
generally, are complicated things to read.
Yeah, they fuck.
Go read your insurance. Go read your insurance contract.
Which you still
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah.
Which you did sign.
Yeah. Lady police.
So
Yeah.
Lady police.
and this is
Go read that shit.
this is an important discussion, because we are so quick to always say to people, don't sign the fine print, but we never talk about the narrative of who has ever challenged the fine print and succeeded.
But here's where the difference is. Because the contract that the artist is signing is not the same contract that I'm signing.
Uh-huh.
I understand that when I sign onto a company, I am signing onto a company to be an employee of that company.
Mhm.
Meaning I'm signing
Your
over
time.
my rights.
Yeah.
Your time.
Yeah, I'm signing over my right. Like
Yeah.
this is what we know this. Tlamehile ke kene spaneng, tlamehile ke fihle ke le spanele, span se ke se tshunang ke span sa lona.
Salute.
Eh, understand?
You
But-
sell over your rights.
Yes, but where anywhere else would you find a businessman getting into a contractual relationship with another businessman when neither of those businessmen take those contracts back to their lawyers?
Yeah.
Because this is a material impact. They are this is my IP. It's my IP. A businessman won't go in there and just sign
His
the
IP
contract.
away.
Yeah.
He's gonna
No.
take that contract away, and somebody's gonna go through that shit.
With a fine tooth comb. Man.
Yes, and he's gonna send it back to say this is where we recommend
Different
change
that,
changes.
that the adjustment should be. So the artist is a businessman too,
Yes.
because you're not being signed as an employee. This is not an insurance contract that you sign it.
You are signed as a creator of a product.
Exactly. So now you're supposed to, because even if you're not investing, and even though it's not a joint venture in the true sense of the word, but it kind of is.
Yeah.
It kind of is a joint venture. So you're supposed to take that contract and treat it very seriously, because the repercussions that could have to your life 10, 20 years from now are fucking great.
But there are fundamental differences and similarities. So I think the contract lays the responsibility on an artist to become a business person. But an employment contract does not place the same responsibility on you as an employee. So what I'm trying to say is that if I'm an average 23-year-old, you are 23, you've just graduated. But I said, my form of earning income is going to be from my talent. It's unfortunate that my talent requires me, for it not to bite me in the ass, requires me to be already of sound business acumen. And happy the difference when you sign an employment contract is that you are not a business unit. In other words, the company does not track, it just tracks roles and responsibilities, but it does not say us having Des in this company makes us 13 million. But when you're an artist, you also automatically become a business unit. We can say the first day we had Des, we made 15 million out of him. But we don't say Des's job is when we say he must be at stage at 8, which is your clocking, our report. So we may not necessarily measure performance success at Des by the commercial value, but by the things we expect of him to do, because we believe from what we expect him to do, the commercial value automatically comes. So we are saying, if I say Des comes at work at 8, the likelihood that he's going to be productive. If he has to send or honor a deadline, but if the company doesn't make money, you still make your 25,000 a month.
Yeah, which is why I'm saying it's not the same. That's
Yeah.
I'm also saying the same. I'm saying it's not the same. But even though you're the same age as Dead, right? As an artist in 2020, You need to understand that your circumstances are different.
Yeah.
This is not an employment contract
Yeah.
that you sign.
Yeah.
And I find it really hard to overlook or excuse you.
Yeah.
It's just that sometimes
To excuse you for the oversight, because you're not gonna know everything.
But
You know, you're not gonna know everything.
not,
but
because
but
these
you
kids are
didn't
young, bro.
You didn't do any research. You know, you didn't do any research. I remember when, and I don't know if this has anything to do with it. It might not. I remember somebody online was saying that Aubrey was saying that when we were doing assignments, we used to go to the library and print shit out of encyclopedias trying to put together assignments, right?
How
now
are
the
you
kids of
failing
today on Google, you know, like there's so
Yeah.
much information. There's so much information, and it made me think that did us going to the library to collect all that information entrenched a sense of research culture in us that the young kids might not necessarily have. Because the information is there for you.
On the
bro.
fingertips, bro.
The
Google.
information is there for you. The circumstances are different. The circumstances are different. And in fact, I might even, as an employee, I might even have a harder time finding the information that I need than you as an artist would. Because the artist information is not as broad. It's a niche lane of information. You won't have to go far to find the information that you need. You can just Google some keywords and you'll have pointers telling you what are the things that you need to be looking for in a contract.
Yeah.
It's that easy. It takes less than 10 seconds.
Yeah, but I don't disagree with you completely. But what I'm trying to say is that take away the artist. Let's say, how many people, and I would venture to say maybe it's the majority, get a job offer with a salary, and they don't influence the amount to move from 100 to 110 because
You accept it.
psychologically, the fact that I'm even offered, then somebody says, "Oslayela, what's 110?" I'm like, bro, I came from zero.
I don't
Because
have any.
I felt that asking for 10, then even the entire opportunity goes away.
I understand that. I understand that, right? But after I leave the company,
Yeah.
my relationship with that company is done. My relationship with that company is done. But when I leave a record label, I'm gonna be dealing with those people for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Because you signed yourself up for 4 albums or whatever.
Imminent.
No, even if
IP.
I've given them 4 albums,
Oh.
You're giving them
It's
IP,
theirs.
bro.
right? I'm still gonna be dealing with that record company for the rest of my life. For as long as those albums that I made with them are selling,
Yeah,
there's still
intertwined.
some money that they still gonna need to send me on.
And the inevitable happened.
Gone.
Right?
And it's a mainly lead.
There's still
Yeah, but we'll use
there's
the.
still some money that they're still gonna need to send me. Why not? So my relationship with that company doesn't die. But as an employee, as soon as I resign, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fidi.
Understand that, and that's the difference. And I understand why they might be so compelled to sign on so easily because of the background that they come of, like Balabi, you know, and
You ain't got
whatnot.
shit, bro. You ain't got shit.
But what I can tell you is these talented artists that these labels that have their ear to the streets find are people that have been trying to break into the music industry
For a while.
for quite a while.
Yeah,
So they had the time to.
You understand?
they have to.
So if you're in your back room hidden with your little keyboard, making your little beats and doing your little recordings, God created some on the wall as soundproofing. If you could do that,
You
You
can
search
also.
how to
you
do
can
that.
get on the internet and get
And
some
research your
information.
content. Yeah.
But, and no, I've got a dichotomy because I agree with you and I disagree with you. Because I think the nature of a creative is to be non-commercial.
No, but
It's drawing blood out of a stone
But
for you to expect me to be commercial.
you see, when I speak about a creative, I'm not speaking about a Zahara. Zahara came into the game as a Gabi Foko.
She didn't know shit. She could only sing.
She could just sing.
She could just
Right.
sing. That's the
But
thing.
if I'm looking at a boy that doing com,
Mkhukhung, fana.
Piano, yeah.
Monville or
Yeah.
or piano somewhere, Attridge, whatever.
Cooking beats, bro.
Understand?
Every day.
Yeah. These boys that are making beats are tech savvy boys.
Yeah.
Very tech-savvy.
They're tech savvy boys,
Very
right?
tech-savvy.
And they know who are the big artists in the game. And they follow publications that come out
music.
that come out about the music industry.
They do.
So when an artist gets fucked,
They know.
They know.
They should know.
They know.
they know, and they know the nature of that fallout. They know how that fallout happened. Because it's right there in the article. I remember some boy when Khumuzu was still rapping, there was some beat that we were trying to get from this kid, S08E06, and that beat was crazy. Crazy. And
Dope ass beat.
Yeah, right? And we wanted to buy this beat
From him.
but he didn't have the separates. Right? He didn't have the separates to the beat. Right? You understand what I mean by
and
You separate the bass, the
composition.
everything is separated.
Yeah, right. So he wanted to sell us an MP3 file.
Of the full beat.
It's a bad. You can't cut that shit out.
Yeah.
And you can't chop and change it.
Yeah, right. So we're saying because you don't have the separates to the beat, this is just an MP3 file. This is how much we're going to
The
give.
amount is going to go down.
The amount is going to go down because there's very little that I can do with this beat.
Yeah.
You are
I
not
can't
allowing
even-
any flexibility.
I can't even add in my own elements to the beat because
To make it better or whatever.
yeah, so this is how much we're going to give you. And he took the stance of us trying to fuck him. And he understands how cutthroat the industry is. He's not going to be sold off short like that and whatnot, which I commended him for, but I feel like he had tried to apply that in a place where it
It didn't apply.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
didn't apply.
But Nasal Malala would.
Nasanzali, he was already woke
It's just that he applied it in the wrong
the wrong
environment.
in the
Yeah,
wrong environment, but
yeah.
he was already woke.
Yeah.
So every time when I have these young kids coming in saying that they didn't know, my nigga,
Yeah, and you're supposed
there's a
to.
lot of kids out there that are
Right
making
now.
music that we don't know about.
Right now, you're supposed to know.
They know.
Yeah, in this day and age, you're supposed to
You're
know.
supposed to know. You might not know what contracts are, but you know. You've seen what other artists have gone through.
Yeah.
Right. You've spent your entire life being a fan of Mugs and hearing through the grapevine that the only reason that Mug can't release an album of his own is because he owes Lance.
Yeah.
What does that make you feel like?
Yeah.
What do you think from that every time you have to go sign your entire IP over to a company? Do you not think of that? Is this not something that you've been pondering on the whole time you've been making beats at the back of your fucking home? All these years? Come on, bro.
Come on. You're a fan of Wayne. You know what Wayne is going
You know what went through.
You know what Wayne is going. You're a fan of this nigga. You know. You read everything that is out there about Wayne. You know about his squabbles with the Birdman. You know. Contracts.
What
Yeah.
the
I'm gonna happen. I'm gonna get that's why
How good the kid.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about man because when those advances come, bro, when those promises come, bro, you can get clouded, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get clouded because MT Leonona Olabua and find out okay, yo, these niggas were telling me Intro. These niggas are telling me Mercedes. These niggas are telling
two of
me
those Mercedes,
this.
yeah.
Two. You know what I'm saying? He didn't own them,
Mm-hmm.
but they came with the contract. Or find out what drive. Okay. Okay. I say how. But we allow you to stay in there.
You have
You
access to
stay,
it.
you have access. Yeah, how?
Yeah, I hate it, but and I think I'm in the same place as you are, the dichotomy, right? But it's just that I find it very hard to forgive the artist all the way. Because here's the other thing. Besides you having been the tech savvy person and having had access to all these media, informational publications, more often than not, before you blow, the previous year or two you have spent in
Swear.
studio or in social circles with artists that are established. You've been rubbing shoulders with these guys.
So you have access to information.
You
Yeah.
have access to it.
You've been rubbing shoulders with your questers, the AKAs, or whoever, right? You've been meeting each other in studios. You've been having conversations with these people. You've been bumping into them in the VIP section.
And they tell you their stories, yeah.
Before you blow up, because you don't blow up from the back room.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Somebody comes to fetch you from the back room,
And brings you
to Joburg.
Yeah.
See what it is that we can do. We go to the events, couple of performances here and there, rub shoulders with Tabang and his, people and his friends and whatnot. You get to meet who the who's, the promoters, the producers, the artists, the managers, and you have conversations with these people. By the time you sit down to put your signature on the dotted line, you've had 12 to 24 months of interaction of people in the industry that are getting fucked, probably at a lesser extent, or just as you. And you're still gonna sign blindly like they did.
Funny enough, the person that actually did follow that, because I know him personally, and Casper.
Yeah.
Casper didn't fall prey to that.
Yeah.
And he's been rubbing shoulders with.
Yeah. That's why I'm mentioning
for a very long
Jabba.
time.
He listened to you, was like, artistically, Jabba is my superior. But I feel like commercially, I make better decisions than him.
Yeah, that boy Tseho. Tseho was running with Family Tree for a long time, but his first album.
With who?
Tseho.
He was running with who?
Family Tree, Casper's label.
Yes, yes.
But his first album came with Universal. First album to Universal,
And
because
he
was able
produced
to
the entire album himself.
Yeah, and he was able to see you right. I don't know, just sharply.
So I find it really hard to excuse niggas from.
Yeah, at this day and age,
Yeah.
at this day and age, you should know.
I was planning on.
Yeah.
It's not like we got you from
nowhere,
from the oblivion somewhere where you didn't know
Yeah.
absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Because if I went to fetch you, unless if the person that went to fetch you from the back room signed you immediately,
Same
so that
time.
by the time you're rubbing shoulders with people,
Yeah.
I already have you locked into a contract.
Yeah, which I'm wondering what Master Cage's contract is looking like at this moment.
Bruh.
Yo, I'm wondering what that nigga's contract is looking like. That nigga from Limpopo, what does that nigga know, bro? Yo,
And he's quoting,
hey, Ronaldo, Janet Jackson.
you know when I thought about that
Fucking
nigga,
hell, bro.
when I thought about that nigga, it took me to that conversation where I was juxtaposing between luck, blessing, and a covenant, ne? Where something is beyond your wildest dreams.
Yo.
Like Janet Jackson just.
Yo, what we
tweeted this
seeing with
nigga.
Jerusalem and
Yeah.
Father is wow.
Ronaldo just.
It's wow.
So what I'm trying to say is that if I say luck, I can explain luck to a certain point. Like Nike.
That's not luck.
So
that's God engineering.
If it's a blessing, I can explain it to. Then there's this thing.
It is God engineering.
Jorge, you were just meant to have this thing, and this thing is blowing up, bro.
Bro. And Jerusalem I can't explain, bro.
So now,
Tap.
success.
Try quiz.
He's so platinum in Italy.
They took the video down on YouTube.
Have they?
No,
I
it's
think
still there.
they took it down in the. Or is it still
Yeah,
there?
it's still there. Yeah.
It's on 120 million
Yeah, that
now.
hit like 120 million now.
120
Yeah,
million.
it's still up.
Who owns that video?
I don't
You
know.
are not questioning
I don't
this.
know. Because when I look at that video, it doesn't say Master KG, bro.
It's
Go
an
check
open
it
mic.
out.
He
Hey,
record label level.
he's not coining
So the channel-
from that.
You see now that's where the splits come in, because that's not a copyright in the sale.
Yeah.
You see, that's ad revenue.
That's
Yeah.
ad revenue.
That's ad revenue.
Who's coining that?
Did you go to a joint venture on ad revenue?
That's
Or-
a performance royalty
Who's
Yeah.
coining
and
that?
it could be 100% a label.
in the needle time.
Who's coining that?
You know that
Is that Master
that-
Cage's official page?
I don't
It's
know.
not.
It's not. It's not Master Cage's official page.
It's not.
I say hi.
It's open mic.
It's open mic
session.
something.
Ke record label level.
Yeah. Ke record label. What?
Open my production.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
And-
productions. yeah.
And at those numbers, bro. At those numbers.
Even the ads alone.
Just
I'm
the
making-
ads alone.
I'm making
are
the
crazy.
owner of the label retire.
Bro, what did
Crazy.
you see? Did you see?
At those numbers.
Did you see our statement from our low ass numbers?
No,
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
see
how
it.
you haven't
you
seen it.
King, I saw it.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
I don't wanna
Just
mention
like-
it. Yeah,
just
Okay,
like
don't
that.
mention it.
Yeah.
Right. So think about that number
And multiply by.
that YouTube gave us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
For the streams that we're pulling on
Yeah,
YouTube.
and we're doing
that
like a
number, right?
Yeah.
It's in dollars, right?
Yeah.
And now multiply it across
That's what I'm saying.
116
Yeah.
million.
How much? How? Yo, that's money.
growing daily.
You're wrong.
Nah,
It doesn't
B.
work like that. You guys are a talk show. So you guys have multiple things. So certain videos of yours earn more than other videos. That's pure entertainment.
Yeah, directional.
So the
it's
numbers.
fine.
So for example,
I understand.
5
It's
cents per 5 cents per view per 1 rand per view.
It's not comparing apples with apples,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Nonetheless,
it puts
The
it
context,
in some sort of context.
Yeah, it's considerable,
To say
bro.
116 million views.
It's considerable, bro.
That's a lot, bro.
Yo, that's a lot, bro.
Cheleta Haitwa, the tech guys in America don't make the same amount as
with
guys
160
who do
million
financial
views. I'm
videos.
kidding.
With 160
I'm
million
caking,
views
I'm
on
caking,
YouTube,
bro.
I'm
I'm
coming
caking.
out with at least $1 million rand.
clean.
No,
I'm caking.
Yes, I
bro.
am.
no.
I'm
I'm
telling you.
caking.
Rand.
Depends on the content.
Nah, get that check.
We can
Mara,
check
that
it.
nigga-
I've got a video
Mara,
here to prove that.
Mara, that nigga is
160.
caking. I'm not Master KG. I'm not getting that Master KG.
That
I'm
nigga's
hoping
making money,
his
bro.
contract is good, bro. Because yeah,
Now,
he's
can I
gone,
have-
bro. He's gone. He's gone.
Oof.
Oof. You see how loved he is now. I give the narrative support the artist. How do you manage to next week go daily sanare? We're gonna believe him.
Yeah, we're gonna support him.
Because he is a tangible product of this art.
Yeah.
The label is not. Everybody's gonna go with him. But the guy who put him on says, do you know that I put my house for sale or as collateral for a studio time?
For this nigga. too.
Meaning, because you know that concept that trust is earned, but so is mistrust. Or no, respect is earned, so is disrespect. Correct. If I put my house, if your shit didn't pop off, I would have been homeless. You wouldn't have been.
The risk.
If you did what?
If get it, habare, trust is also, even disrespect is also earned. Correct. The risk, so that's the negativity to it. You have the art, and you can shop around with your art without being destitute. But the person that backs you, if your shit didn't pop off, we would have come out of that line, me being homeless and you are not homeless.
You need to pay me.
You need to pay me for that risk.
Because
I put up my house for this shit.
but the physical product recognizes you because you are the talent as if you did 80% of the work. It's fine, but you are not shouldering 80% of the risk.
And if I know how to talk, if you are not willing to share in the risk,
You can't share in the profit.
you can't share in the profits, bro. You can't.
You can't. But that's why if they're
And if you're not sharing in the risk, then you are an employee.
then you are an employee.
Employee.
So which is
I gotta eat.
then the artist, the first way for artists to be remunerated, they will have to think like business people. But what we are really seeing is that they're actually employees. But we keep getting frustrated at the decisions they make because we are expecting businessmen acumen.
Savvy.
But
Business.
they're employees.
Yeah.
You see,
Expect them to be savvy.
the ideal situation would be to get a financier who's willing to split money equally with you, right? And then take that guy who doesn't know fuck all about music, take his money and go meet the record labels with them, so that it becomes a joint venture. So that the splits that come to you, let's say maybe you get a 50% split or 40% split. You and the financier take 20 each,
20 each.
as opposed to the 10 that you would have been taking if it was just you.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Yeah, that would have been fair. Alright, man. Good luck to Master KG. The song is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Tap tap. Tap tap with that aim. And straight up, bro.
Bro, I heard that song a while back. I wrote it off because it sounded like tap tap.
Get tap tap.
It sounded like tap tap. I was really surprised when I saw it fucking blow up across the world. I'm like, tap
Whoa.
tap is so. But then Bujo Mujo was blew up in
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah.
Bruh,
Yeah.
That's the same shit.
Them niggas, those Pretoria niggas, that Mpopo is yeah, on that Muju sound, because they took that sound. Bo Munada, Bo yeah, na KG. It hangs on the soldiers. Ta Buju. You know what I'm saying? That's the sound, bro. That's the sound. That's the sound that's gonna.
you know he passed away.
Yeah, Buju Mojo passed away. Yeah.
Mara nake tap tap on fire. How to tap tap? Because every time I heard, I'm like, man, these are the songs that play. Tavin in Tele.
Taxi. Hey.
Wana Tavin in Tele mono lang bomme ba. Ere haba felletswe ke mahopo go mkhukung ere ba tla thabeneng da ba tlo go sukudisa ka di black tsa bona ka tuku tse dutse
Would you marry me? Marry me. Marry my nigga. My love.
That's where that Jerusalem song played.
It comes from that.
When I heard it, that's the first thought that I have. I'm like, nah, I'm not fucking
tap.
Hey, Kanti.
Maka, that's the music that they love from us, bro. That's why like Monada, them niggas.
I love Monada.
Monada, I love him.
Yeah, they going, bro. They going. They're going.
My chance.
They're going. But my chance.
This splash, one more splash. Oh, look at it, you know.
No, le mo man.
My chance.
Ke man go finyole wancho. Go finyole wa.
She will le. She will my nigga, I'm telling you, bro. The hits. When I was there, bro, when that shit was live, bro, Buju Muju. Times four. Sunny side, bro. Yeah. I was there in the midst of that shit.
And they were never in the premium
live,
festival.
Bro. Yeah, live. And fucking blind. That nigga would rock that shit. We would shut that shit down, bro. Shut that shit down.
Kibanyana binanto. What? Ungazobuya. Yabuswati so man. Ungazokhiyela omunye ladleni.
Yeah, you are getting caught.
Namfazini ayithanda le. Amina benda you. What song was that? Who was that?
That's DJ Sindo.
Was it Sindo?
No, that's Sindo.
Oh, you know the Sindo?
Yeah, what she wear?
Yeah, she wear.
Yeah, I think that was Sindo.
That was Sindo.
That was KZN, yeah.
Yeah, when I Buju Mojo fan, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Buju Mojo shit.
One of that, what? Zoo. In Tokyo.
Yo, my nigga.
Tokyo. Dog,
I'm telling you, man, that's the sound, bro.
You know how Hanikere.
Like Splash in Botswana. Splash in Botswana is a whole genre.
I was telling you.
Botswana, Splash is a whole genre. That guy is a god.
That man give me
Splash.
And that thing always happens with Limpopo.
Is that an artist?
Yeah, it's an artist.
But Botswana is a genre.
Yeah, then they give me
piano here.
Unyetsile basadi ba rane. Ona na le group ba ke Dalom Kids.
I know Dalom Kids. Where's he from?
He's from Limpopo, ne?
But he's selling his shit in Botswana.
In Botswana, he's the highest selling artist in Botswana's history. Maraki Muchangane, he Den Chanda. Even his production was Den Chanda production.
Kids is like way back.
Yeah. So my point was, you know how they get it? Like blessing.
Covenant, yeah.
That man.
God engineer.
How much it so sometimes in a lot of comedy, hake rappel. I'm praying for a gold mine. Oh, how do you mean? Get like, you know, gold mine key? I guess it was that hard, and but I was just led to this path. If you walk, if man meet it, but by your rule, it was just my gold mine. You know, but I don't know how it works, because how do I can explain this? An accountant will always make money. It's logical. It's an expensive course. It's difficult. I can explain why you are rich. Probably gold mine. It's like. But what's on Argentina? But Fika Muna taste the acha. How about taste the acha? But this thing is nice, man.
No,
my nigga.
Shut up about that, because I want to work on something. How about Fika? What is this thing? Only family. This thing got to order the container, say 200,000 every year. At 5 rand. That's $1 million. So we were not a family that was commercial. We never
and we weren't the smartest.
Yeah. So when they tested this thing, our Goldman manifested.
Yeah.
We just give these people 200,000 containers. Give mango, give spice, give oil.
Mofaya.
The explanation about why are you millionaires? I can't explain why I'm a millionaire.
Yeah. And that's KG right now.
So
that's KG right now.
Sonically, you're not the best composer. Sonically. Language-wise, you're not even singing in English.
That's why Kiriki know it. Because
So you kind
when I little beats, the stuff that everybody cares about. But there's that cheesy
Stop saying that shit. Stop saying that shit. But my point is, so this guy, what?
I don't know why he was.
He knows why. Because
But
I sent him a message. So what I'm saying is that this guy, sonically, is not the best song from South Africa. Sonically,
It's
not.
ne? But he's an artist from South Africa with a product that is not sonically the best.
Yeah. But it's niche.
Then
bro.
the language is not universal.
Yeah.
The language is not universal. Sonically is not the best song. Ne? You in Joburg, you don't even come from the best
But that rhythm, bro.
urban area of Joburg. Like Bobo na Bo Mama. You're from nowhere, from an obscure rural area. And you're 24 years old.
Yeah.
That guy is made, his life is made with one song.
Yeah.
Not an album.
Yeah.
With one song, his
Jerusalem.
life is
He's,
made.
he's good, bro. He's good.
How do you explain that thing?
If he splits, alright.
Yeah, if he
Yeah,
splits
yeah,
alright,
if he splits a-
if he splits alright, he's good for life.
How do you explain that
He's
thing?
good for life. He's good for life.
How do you explain that thing?
He's good for life. He's good for life.
How do you explain that thing?
It's ordained.
It's
it's God engineered.
It's written in the stars, bro.
It's God engineered.
You know, like that's why I was like, how wanna, what Trevor know like, how would you start the man of who's the soul? You know, when he did the story, people thought I'm an albino. I'm not the face of comedy in South Africa because but David Kau already smashed those records, ne? But nigga is earning $10 million US today
Yeah,
at the age of 33.
yeah, yeah.
He does not have an high school education. He doesn't have a VAT.
It's just that his brand of comedy was just so palatable for that market that has the money to pay.
That I couldn't fucking stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even that you can't stand it.
Yeah,
But you can't explain it.
Yeah, but kada it's love. It's one Leona KG. When I get tap, you know, I'm bougie. I don't want to listen to tap. Mara Cristiano Ronaldo out that Jerusalem a beat. It does something to him.
Sopula on the
It does something to him.
Sopula on Bloodsport. Fandama Jai Farah. Keep it at
But here's another funny example level. The Jerusalem dance king.
The Jerusalem challenge. Yeah.
What is the dance?
I don't know.
Baby, it's
Oh yeah, Manyalo.
Kodes.
Oh, it's got a name.
Kodes.
Aye, man.
So yes, Kodes.
In South Africa, yes.
Yes, I don't know if it's
Yeah, in the US, get out of here.
Yeah, they do it too, yeah.
So what I'm saying is that even the dance
Shuffle, Kentucky Shuffle.
Kentucky Shuffle.
Kentucky Shuffle.
It's not original.
Yeah.
I wonder where it started.
It's not original. But he's kicking off of that shit.
Hey man, I'm hoping my nigga KG is out there coining, bro. Yeah, it's your time, bro. It's your time. And in dinner,
It's
it's
golden out, golf R. Have you seen that shit?
No, I haven't seen it.
Hey man, that shit glistening.
Train in dinner is the sentiment.
There's golf R, yeah, Master KG.
Oh what?
It's all gold.
All gold.
It's easy.
Swag.
Yeah.
Swag.
That shit is all gold.
That's how you supposed to
Sean,
hold, my nigga.
that shit is in the sun.
That's how you supposed to do
Gotta
it.
wear some shades for that bitch, yo.
That's how you supposed to do it.
I don't know, between the two of you, because I went to TL, so I get a Janet Jackson who went in about name and yeah, I had these people are intending, hey man, learn about a group, yeah, whole. So
I retweeted that and I was like, and I was like, yo man, leave this kid alone.
It's his moment.
Leave this kid alone.
Yeah.
He's 26, 25, 26.
24.
Yeah, 24, yeah. He's there and he has these big ass motherfuckers that we all look up to, tagging him personally. I am gonna act like a groupie, bro. I'm gonna tell you South Africa loves you.
You are allowed.
Let me be.
Yes, he said,
Bro, Cristiano Ronaldo
Made a video.
On his family, on his family,
and
page.
his woman
on,
did.
yeah, on his family
His
video.
woman has got like 67 million followers.
My nigga, incredible. If I,
See, I would have lost my shit with Royce,
yeah,
Yeah.
and he got that a month and a half ago.
bro.
His man shit was-
Because Royce posted
Yeah,
that shit.
posted that shit. Yeah,
The rest did-
Where's the
Yeah,
5'9"? Yeah,
Royce the
Wait.
5'9" posted that Jerusalem song.
Yeah,
He did.
he
Yeah.
did, bro.
With which image or video? Was it
On the
dance?
Instagram.
Yeah, on the Instagram, it ain't that.
Fuck.
Go check that
See,
shit.
I would have lost my shit
With
Because of
Royce.
what Ross means to you.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Royce. Yeah.
But Mfana has bro, Ronaldo,
Not
Bo
Cristiano,
Janet Jackson.
yeah.
I mean, if I choose to say South Africa loves you on that tweet, just let me be, bro. Incredible.
It's not that guy that said, Harahane Mara Ilagatamaka.
Nah,
Because I'm right.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
does South Africa loves you?
Yeah. Hey,
yeah, Mara, we know where that comes from, bro. No, we know where that comes from.
We need to wrap the
Yeah,
shit
let's
up
wrap it.
because
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the track? Individually, how do you guys feel about the
Yeah,
track?
that we said.
How do you guys feel about the track?
Yeah, I'm like
I think it's a cool track, but get up.
Tap,
Yeah,
tap.
So,
Classing it
are you
there.
down with it or not?
I'm down with
You're
it.
down with the
I'm
success?
down with it. I'm
It's
not
not
down
about
with
the
it.
success.
Man, get
Not
up
about
down.
the success,
Get
but
up
you're down
down.
with the track.
Yeah.
I'm down with it. Yeah, man,
Did you
get up.
download it?
No.
Yes. No, not actually.
Like all of other Buju Mujo's tracks.
Yeah.
You see,
I'm
I
down
love
for- I
love
support it.
Mojo.
I support it.
Get up down.
Get up down. though.
But I'm gonna
Ask
show
the
you-
viewers if they like it. If they like the track, they must thumbs up. If they don't like the track, thumbs down.
Word,
Just so we can
word.
get it
Yeah,
over.
let us know.
So I've got a folder
Nice.
on Spotify. It's called For the Spirit. So there's a song at Jub called Jerusalem featuring Ishmael. But Jerusalem is there's a lot of Jerusalem songs in gospel. So it may suggest that as a song, you know how the algorithms. So I've got Master KG, Jerusalem in that folder.
Yeah. So you listen to it.
I've
Yeah. I know. No. All power to Jerusalem. The listeners will let us know whether they dig it or not, whether they did dig the upward momentum of the song. Let us know. Hit the Dojo hashtag. When you guys tell us about this thing. A shout out to everybody who told us how they discovered the pod.
Keep doing that.
Keep
Keep doing that.
Keep doing it.
Please keep on doing
Actually
it.
keep doing that because we've got a surprise.
Yeah, we got a surprise for you. So keep telling us and tagging and tag us too. Tag us and let us know
If
how
you tell us, you might
discovered-
get a DM.
Yeah, you might get a special DM.
Yeah.
So tag us and let us know.
Not a BM.
Yeah, a
I thought you
DM.
said BM. I was gonna play too.
DM, no,
A
DM.
DM. You might get a special DM from us. Please just let us
I
know.
need a BM, guys.
Yeah.
If you can get me one, please make the plan.
special guys.
That's like you're a BM, I don't have it. Yes, a BM,
So please keep
Let's
those
wrap
coming.
this shit up. Let's wrap this shit up.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this
Please
shit up.
keep telling us how you
Come on,
discovered
man.
the pod. You guys, as you can see, we've been load shedded. You guys are probably listening to this with the
Video
phone mics.
audio,
Yeah, video audio. So we done, bro.
Is that still on? Is this still on?
Yeah, take us home.
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
take us home.
You're listening to the Dojo podcast with the Sensei and the Archbishop with the Wild Take Him Damn Self Tabang. So we're trying to, we try to do the best that we can with the video audio. It might be different halfway through
Yeah.
because the
Last
mixer
80%,
went
yeah.
dead. So, but anyways, thanks a lot for listening and for your patience, and we out.